This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Alright, now I get to back out and join a different lobby. Yeah! Look at all these fun lobbies here tonight. This is great. I can't wait to join one of these really fun other lobbies of other people I get to play now. This is excellent.
This is absolutely excellent. Look at this. Look at all this new variety of... Look at all this new variety of competition I'm going to get tonight. I'm excited. I don't know why. There's actually a lot of people playing this game tonight. Very nice. Alright, so everyone's giving me a hard time because I added wrong. Because I was trying to rush to do the math before a match started. Apparently I'm up to $91 in tips. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's contributed tonight because you guys have been awesome with contributions tonight. I really do appreciate it.
That's awesome stuff. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun now. Really, seriously, and I cannot wait for more. This is cool because I'm getting that positive vibe that I had for most of 2017. I'm getting it back now. But now, I'm getting that groove back, getting that vibe back. I'm ready for fun stuff. I hope you guys are ready too.
Let's see how we're doing with subs. We're at 650 subs. So we went up a ton of subs tonight too. So thank you guys so much for the support tonight. I guess you guys actually really do like seeing Throwback Street Fighter, don't you? So... Tonight is like the literal opposite of the experience we had last week. Last week there was only like 2 or 3 people playing. There was a ton of fucking stupid trolling. We couldn't get any matches. It looks like this week it's the opposite, so good stuff, I guess, right? I hope we can keep it like this every week, seriously.
If we can get it like this every week, I definitely would like to keep it this way. Oh no! What a greedy bastard. I'm an evil bastard. Cynical, negative bastard.
Big Papa Phil took me $4 for very strong streams tonight. Hopefully Street Fighter Friday sticks around. I would say this week was successful. We had a good variety of gameplay. We had good matches with Shell Ryukin and a few other people. Although, Goji Tank's connection lagged up all night, it was still fun. We had a good variety of stuff going on, so I would say we'll keep it in the rotation. Let's see how it goes next week, okay? Hopefully, next week it's as good as this week, alright? Thank you, everyone. It's super duper supportive stream. Are you kidding me with the amount of tips and the amount of cheers and everything tonight? Thank you so much for that.
The money is mine, and I want the money.
Sunday night, my late night stream will be my year-end series for 2019, including the most disappointing games of 2019 countdown, as well as the best games of 2019 countdown. I can tell you guys, I have 11 best games of the year. I couldn't narrow it down to 10, so I made it 11. 11 best games of the year. And 16 most disappointing games of the year. There were more big disappointments in 2019 for me than there actually were good games. And I hate to say that, but it was just truthful. Like, 2019 overall was a pretty disappointing year for gaming. So many games that had potential, so many games that promised the world, and when they actually released, they ended up being big, stinky flops. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to count those down and see your reactions to them live and stuff, okay? Good show coming up tomorrow night. The absolute best way that you can contribute would be by tipping me, alright? Reason being, when you tip me, those are funds I can put towards things immediately. The cost of games, the cost of internet, electricity, utilities, paying taxes, paying for groceries, you know, all these things. It covers, and your tips really have kept me alive.
You feed me more. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. Gotha did nothing wrong, Cheater said pigs are food. Feed a pig to a pig. Wow.
And let me keep going at times when things have been really tough, alright? Now, not to say that the other methods of contribution, like cheering and subbing and Teespring and everything, aren't good. They are, absolutely they are. But all of those methods have a processing time between when you contribute and when I actually see a positive benefit. You see what I'm saying? Versus tips, that's immediately I can use that stuff for important things. So if you'd like to contribute in the best way possible, please tip me.
Oh, don't tell me how to give you my money.
So Last Rambo Cheers, he says the following. Statistically, he's quoting someone, by the way. I don't know who he's quoting. This is a quote from something, and I don't know what this is a quote of, because I don't follow the fighting game community, but he's quoting something here in quotes. So let's see what he says. He says, statistically, after 4 years of tournaments with hundreds, sometimes thousands of players, at least some scrub would have won, or at least placed top 8 at a premier event by guessing right most of the time. All I've seen since 2016, however, is Tokido, Bon Chan, Fujimara, Problem X, or Punk winning everything. So either they're incredibly lucky, or there's more than just guessing to the game. How then can Street Fighter V be a guessing game? Okay. Again, I have no idea what this is a quote of. He's quoting someone. Apparently there was some kind of a discussion somewhere about people criticizing Street Fighter V as a guessing game. And then someone calling it out and saying, well, I don't understand how you could say that, because the same people win every tournament. Okay? Now, fair enough, you would think, well, wait a minute, if the same people are winning a competition over and over, it must mean that there is some kind of a level of skill that these guys have learned, and that's how they're winning, right? I mean, fair enough, that's correct. However, here's where my criticism of Street Fighter V comes into play, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, anything can be made competitive.
Snort it up your nose now.
It's a very high-level guessing game. What you're trying to do is read your opponents, and what you're trying to do is guess what they're going to do, and then guess what's the better option for me in this 50-50 mix-up situation to do that's going to beat my opponent. I'm not saying there's absolutely no factor of hand-eye coordination. I'm not saying there's absolutely no factor of actual planning or skill. What I'm saying is, if you compare Street Fighter V competitively to every other Street Fighter game ever made, that's a numbered iteration, it literally is the worst one because it's just guessing. Now, you can say, I'm a competitive guesser. Alright? Good for you. And I guess, if you really want to look at the top players of Street Fighter V who we're calling out here, right? I guess what they've done is they've learned the game to the science of guessing well, to the point where they can read, or maybe they study their opponents, they know what their opponents typically would do in a match, and they know statistically what the best thing is to do. Again, this is exactly what competitive gamblers do. Statistically, they know what's the hand to play, what's the move to make in this situation that I will have the highest chances of winning. They also know very well how to read their opponents, right? One of the biggest things about competitive poker, I know for a fact, is reading your opponents and knowing exactly what they're going to do in any given situation, so you know if they're bluffing, you know what they're doing, right? So, the truth of the matter is, I don't feel that Street Fighter V isn't competitive, and I certainly never said that. What I said is, if you're looking at it at a competitive skill level, take a game like, what you did with Street Fighter V is you made it something that's similar to, say, a competitive sport, and you turned it into competitive gambling, which is just competitive prediction, competitive guessing, and reading players, versus actual execution, actual gameplay patterns. It's just a guessing game. And that's why I hate it. You turned it from actual sport into gambling. And I don't like Street Fighter V because of that. I think that the game is shit, and I certainly don't find it entertaining whatsoever to play or watch, and I don't care about it. Good stuff, fair enough. I hope that answers your question, Last Rambo. PW Dubs tipped me $1. He says, would you recommend I join your Patreon? I'm interested in it, but you said that it'll be phased out soon. I never said that. What I said was, since I became a full-time streamer, and in particular, I'd say since early 2018, when really I started doing monthly sub goals, because I used to do Patreon goals, all right, every month. But people said to me, well, Phil, if you're becoming a full-time streamer, your focus should be on the stream, so you should migrate all of your stuff to your streams instead. So I did, and for the past 2 years, it's been all based on the stream stuff rather than based on Patreon stuff, okay? So when I did that, I basically made it that every month now we have these sub goals on stream, and Patreon still exists, and people who pledge to my Patreon still get perks every month. You know, they still get premium forum access. They still sometimes get advanced or, better access to voting events. They can get a private Q&A session, or they can get their questions answered on Ask the King. Like, they still get all those perks. But, in general, what I've seen is that since I have turned my focus primarily to my streams, that most people who want to support me come to the streams and directly support me on a stream. So, for example, they'll come and cheer and sub or tip during a stream so they can get that live shout-out versus, oh, I'm going to pledge to his Patreon, right? Now, not to say that there aren't people who pledge to my Patreon or that I'm not grateful. There are still a large amount of people who still pledge to my Patreon, and that's consistent support that I get every single month that helps me out, okay? So, I'm not phasing it out, and it still exists for those who like to support me via that method. It's not going anywhere, all right? All I've been saying is I've noticed that, yes, in the last 2 years, since I became a full-time streamer, that things have changed, and most people will come and support me on the streams rather than on Patreon, okay? A lot of people directly said, I'm not going to do Patreon anymore, but I'm going to come to your streams and support you instead, and I appreciate that. So, that's the deal. If you're interested in supporting me via a Patreon pledge, you can still do so. It's still greatly appreciated. You'll still get your perks, okay? Excuse me. But, I mean, being very matter of fact, Yeah, a lot of people have chosen not to do that anymore and instead to come to the streams live instead. So it's your call. Whatever you'd like to do, PW Dubs. I appreciate, no matter what you do, I appreciate the support in whatever way that you lend it, okay? PW Dubs to me $1 says, do you think stress can cause weight gain? You know, stress has a lot of negative effects on the body, just being honest. Stress can cause you to not do things that normally would be healthy for you. Like, stress could cause you to lose sleep. And if you lose sleep, your body can't recuperate properly, and therefore you're going to be unhealthy. You're going to feel awful. It's not going to operate properly. Stress can cause you to do things like stress eat or, drink, substance abuse. Like, stress can cause a lot of stuff. I've been, many times in my life I found myself in stressful situations that I know have negatively affected me, Does stress actually cause straight up weight gain? Does it cause straight up weight gain? I don't know. I'm not a medical expert. I don't think so. For me, at least in my personal experience, I think that would be a cop-out, because how is stress causing weight gain, right? Like, I would say, no, the stress is causing the eating that's causing the weight gain. I wouldn't say stress is causing the weight gain as a direct cause and effect, okay? But it can indirectly cause it via making you want to eat more, all right? But I would not say stress makes you gain more weight naturally. No, that sounds kind of silly to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not a medical expert. From my experience, if I'm stressed out and I'm eating more and I gain weight, that's my fault, and I blame myself for letting myself succumb to the stress, rather than saying that weight will just allow you to gain more weight. I think that's silly, okay? But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Okay.
Alice Telemann cheered again and said, Dr. Phil, I am not a doctor. As I said many times, I don't know anything about this, the medical side of this stuff. I can just tell you from my personal experiences, okay?
And, ladies and gentlemen, last night, Tomahawk MCX, in a flurry of support, gifted a whopping 21 subscriptions.
Some people are just sheep, and you can't help them.
Here we go. Third Eye the Third just shared saying that Drunken Peasants did a podcast about me talking shit. No shit. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why I was not on the Drunken Peasants podcast last year. Very frankly, they wanted me on their podcast pretty badly. They kept asking me to be on over the course of about a month. I told them I was interested, but I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to do it. For various reasons, after doing a little bit more research and talking a little bit about it publicly with you guys on the streams, I found out that basically this podcast is a drama podcast. This is a podcast where literally all they really do is talk about negative stuff. They'll bring up a news story and make fun of the person in the news story, or bring up a streamer or content creator or someone in the news and make fun of them. Basically, it's one of those kind of shows. Now, they claimed that they wanted to play Super Turbo with me. I said, I really don't understand why they would want to play Super Turbo with me. How that much do they even know about Super Turbo, right? Yeah, randomly guys out of nowhere want to play Super Turbo with me who just happen to live near Seattle or whatever. So, I was interested in it, and by the way, this was happening right before I got married last year.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I did lie about the wedding.
I mean, I'll be very honest. The wedding was a thing that Kat and I wanted to do, but we were in no hurry to do. But once my parents said, listen, you should come out here and spend time with us because we both have medical issues or whatever, we were like, maybe now's the time. Maybe even now, we were talking about it, this isn't the time because we might not get the chance. You know what I mean? Again, next time maybe when one of my parents passed away, it would be terrible. Right? We have the chance to do it now, let's just do it. So we did, you know?
We really were. We were pressured a little bit to do it. Oh, here we go. I am Hot Dog, the asshole who insulted me earlier, and now he's trolling me, saying I had a forced wedding or something. What the fuck are you talking about? A forced wedding? What does that even mean?
Okay, so remember, I was planning out my trip to Connecticut to visit my parents, and I was going to get married, and I knew that there was going to be a lot of drama around me getting married and everything. I already knew that. And they really wanted to have me on before I had gone on my trip. I talked with them back and forth about it, and the final determination was that I was not going to do it. And the reason I told them I wasn't going to do it was because they stream on YouTube. And I heard a lot of bad things about them streaming on YouTube, and basically their audience being uncontrollable and saying a lot of nasty stuff in the comments of their podcasts and the like.
Dark side filled the lol cow.
I said, in reality, I don't care what people say about me, okay? But what if someone starts coming on your podcast, which apparently you have little to no moderation in the stream chat, and starts saying stuff about my wife, starts bringing up things about, horrible things about her past and messed up stuff. I don't want her getting doxxed on someone else's fucking, podcast, So, essentially, I eventually told them, no, I'm not going to be on the show anymore, okay? And that's really, that was the end of it.
Now, apparently they came into the stream chat like a day or two ago, and we're talking shit about me. Oh, Phil didn't come on our show because he's a coward and he lets his haters dictate everything he does. Yes! Yes! It's like, no, actually, I didn't go on your show because your show is a bunch of drama queens and all you do is stir up shit and talk shit about people, and it looked like you were going to allow that in the comments of your show, and I decided not to do it. Instead, I did an interview with the Quartering, who did an offline interview with me. There were no comments to hinder our discussion. The discussion went out there as is and ended up being a very positive light for me in 2019, which was the whole point of me doing it. You know? So, basically, wrong. You know, they could say whatever they want. But they're wrong, and they're just making shit up because they want, again, to stir up more drama. That's what they do. That's how they get their popularity on YouTube. So it is what it is. I don't care what they said. I don't care if they sat there for 4 hours doing a garbage podcast about me, because they're just number 1 million of the people who've done that. Been there, done that, right? You know, a bunch of fucking hacks. And it is what it is. I don't give a shit about them. I will never be on their show. Especially now, you know, it's like, okay, Phil decided not to be on our show. Maybe we'll be nice to him and talk to him more and try to convince him. No, just let's talk shit about him. Okay, well, fuck you. You proved what kind of a person you are, and I'll never deal with you, right? Pretty matter of fact, that the situation. So that's done. And I don't care about it anymore. In fact, I haven't had any contact with them since literally since April of last year, and then all of a sudden they decided to join my stream chat yesterday or the day before, talk shit, and got banned. And now of course they're going to talk about me on their podcast because they're bored. There's nothing going on. You know, let's do some shit talking, because that's what we do when we have no talent. So, all right, congratulations, morons.
I don't have items to get rid of toxic, so I can't cure toxic.
Oh my god, I'm toxic. I'm fucked. I'm dead.
Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay.
Contributions are mandatory.
But I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.